hot topic. Sorry, Alan. The CEO, and he's not even the main CEO. Like, let's just get that clear. He's not the main CEO of UnitedHealthcare. He's like one of the CEOs of like the businesses within UnitedHealthcare. Previously, he was also a CFO and I think CEO of 2 other businesses under UHC. But anyway, I mean, United, yeah. I just want to know what y'all think. I ain't gonna lie, like, a person was murdered. But the comments, man, they was on 100. They was funny as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
Like,
they were fun. Yeah.
Like
what? Let's hear some of them.
Y'all see? Y'all haven't read them?
No,
no.
Oh, they was like,
not me.
no, they were like
the headlines.
Oh no! Like some people were like, "Oh my sympathy is not covered."
oh my God.
They were like, "Did they run his insurance before the ambulance came to get him?" Y'all really didn't read it?
I really didn't.
I read a couple.
The comments were top tier. And normally I would say, like, I think Black people, one of our coping mechanisms is
comedy.
It's comedy, yes. Laughter, like trying to make light of like bad situations. And I really only realized that like within the last 2 years. I always thought why Black people always making jokes, but I get it now. Like, why are we not making jokes? I have to say this. And at first I was like, gosh, they have this. I was like, gosh, they have this man's murder on like just floating around. I was like, that really is like, it sucks for his kids and I guess his family or whatever and his wife. But then I was like, they have been profiting and living the lavish of lives, the most lavish lives because of that. Because UHC puts profit above health. Actually insuring people, profit above people. And I saw a diagram and it said that I think they what's the word, deny like 35%. And just because I don't know the number, let's just say 30. They denied 30% of their claims.
That's crazy.
And the average I think is like 17. So you're literally doubling. And the thing is that, mind you, that's money making. They're not doing it just cause like you got a what do people call it? They do math for a living. He's not a statistician.
Statisticians?
Actuary. It's actuary. An actuary.
I thought that was a bird person.
You have certain people who can do certain jobs, and then you also have people who, because of what the job entails, they are unwilling to do that type of job, or they're unable to do that type of job. And, I respect that. But in the moment I was feeling sad for like his kids and his wife and stuff, I'm like, how many claims were denied for somebody else's wife or somebody else's kid or somebody else's grandma or daddy or somebody? And because he's meeting those numbers and denying enough claims, he's getting that bonus. The shareholders are getting X amount of dollars. They're making X amount of money. I want to say they're like the most profitable health insurance company in the country. Right? So they're number one. So, what's the correlation? You have the highest percentage of denials, and you also have the highest percentage of like value, profits or whatever. So I think the question is, a lot of people are like, yeah, someone lost their life, but what's behind that? And like, you bought your kid a Tesla truck or whatever, but like you was killing somebody granny who probably had 10 more years on her.
Or even a kid.
Yeah, or a kid, yeah.
I do believe that America, and maybe even most of the world, but I do believe we still operate in an eye for an eye society. And we dress it up, and it might be prolonged. But the second that somebody does react with such and meets the situation with the same exact criteria that they've experienced or situation that they've experienced, we lose that empathy or it throttles down the empathy or the sympathy for that person who's experiencing whatever that they dished out. And I think that's just kind of what it is, in my opinion, when you look at the comments and you do see it. It doesn't make it any less fortunate, for his loved ones. But the reality is you were doing very similar, potentially doing something very similar to what has happened to you from a principal perspective.
You mean like when you retaliate, if someone retaliates?
Yeah, like let's say if you deny a claim or you're,
Oh, we denying claims.
yeah. And now this person dies
Got
from the
your
claim.
ass.
Because my thing is, what do you have, and I don't know the situation, so please, if you guys and girls do know, let me know.
Gals.
Gals,
Guys
sorry.
and girls.
Guys and gals. What do you have to do to be like that?
You ever seen the movie John Q?
Yes, I was gonna say that's one of my all-time. Because you know why? I'm a John Q type of dude. I'm a John Q. Guys, play with my child if you want. I promise you. I don't care who you are. You could be. I ain't gonna say it.
And obviously we don't have all the facts. Everything we're saying is speculation. But I guess there's a book, and it's called Deception, Dispose. It's like 3 D words, and it's a book by some guy about denial of insurance claims and whatever. And those words were written on the bullet, right? So it appears to be a John Q type situation.
Those words was written on the bullet that actually fatally shot.
Yeah.
They found her on the shelves.
What?
Yeah.
The value of UnitedHealthcare is $532.82 billion.
Wait, what? Wait, say it again.
Huh? That's how you say it, right?
500. I'm just trying to put the numbers in my head.
Yeah, $532.82 billion.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
532.8.
Okay.
It's 532.8.
Okay.
I had to.
532.8.
Almost $550
I ignored your
billion
look
dollars.
at the corner of my eye, but
So I'm just
So
saying.
roughly, just say roughly. So it's roughly
$500
worth
billion.
about half a trillion,
value
over
will
half a
Actually,
trillion.
low.
thank you.
It's over
So
half
I'm
a
just
trillion.
saying, there's what's it called? You
Every
get hazard
year.
pay when you get, because your job is very dangerous. You get paid more. I heard he was only making $10 million. Seems like chump change to me if you ask.
Having a job.
If he's only getting $10 million, $10 million seems like peanuts, but I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry. What is that?
But like somebody
You
like
said
that.
10 million seemed like peanuts.
No. You're.
Brush your shoulders off.
No, that's not. I'm just saying
He just
$10
said,
million.
You better go get them cashews.
$10 million for a company that make that much money.
Over
but
half a trillion.
I'm just saying.
How many of him are there?
Yeah, how many
CEO.
CEOs?
That's right.
I don't think there's a lot.
Even if there was 25, let's just say. But even though, let's just say 10 million a year. My thing is this: 10 million a year in the job that he has, in the role that he has in the world that or country that he's in, you need to be protected at all times.
So I did hear, I don't know where, or either I heard it on the news or I read it somewhere, and somebody was asking about, did he typically have security detail or whatnot? And they said 9 times out of 10 he did, but I guess you can tell they're not the Secret Service. You could tell them like, "Hey, move around."
Yeah.
And I'm okay, but I guess he wasn't okay. But you know what I mean?
That's the problem. See, and I don't say this, to troll, but people got to understand anybody can get it.
Yeah.
Anybody can get it. I don't
very
care
true.
who, what. I don't care where you come from, who your dad is, what company, what role you're in, or how much money you're making. Anybody can get it. All it takes is a split second. Split second. Somebody could be waiting. This person could have been waiting for this opportunity for 5 years. Finally, 9 times out of 10 they're around. Here's that one time that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it only takes literally a millisecond or two for you to lose your life.
Like, it's crazy. Like the dude was, and I think they've probably like scrubbed it from parts of the internet or whatever. But he literally, it was a lady like standing right there, or a man or a person. Sorry, I don't know what it was.
This happened in Manhattan, right?
Yeah. Like I
is it
literally,
like broad day.
I've stayed at this hotel before.
Broad day.
It's down the street from my job.
What?
Yes, down the street from my job. And like, you remember when Hurricane Sandy happened?
Yep.
I was actually still in law school at the time. I was actually stuck at that hotel for like over a week because me and my classmates couldn't get back because shit was shut down.
Yeah.
Like, that's the hotel that also hosts like the New York Marathon. Like, it's a very well-known hotel in the middle of like Midtown. Long story short was, sorry, that person that was right there, the shooter was not even occupied with who saw what. They were like, he was set on the target.
He
Didn't
just
even
needed to die.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to cover his ass.
And a lot of times people, you don't want, when you're doing a crime, you don't want other eyes.
Nah, it's a message.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which and again, I still and as much as
Edna, y'all better wake up.
everybody, because
Humana, what's up with it? Like,
I got emblem.
it's Horizon. And that's the thing. I really feel
BCB, yeah.
people need to understand, man. You could really get got in this world.
I agree.
And the thing is, somebody who took the time to carve or engrave a bullet, they want to be known.
Mhm.
I want to show y'all what the people are feeling. I think that this should be.
It's a start of. You think it's a start of something?
It's a big statement of what more could potentially happen if things don't get fixed in this country. I mean, you're seeing so many different things that are going on online, right? You're seeing a whole bunch of countries that have, healthcare for all the citizens of that native country, whatever it is. But now we're actually one of the most,
I know this shit
profiting-
kind of third world over here. Don't even.
Yeah, but like when it comes to the amount of money we make,
Yeah,
like,
you're
we
right.
make
It doesn't
a
make
lot.
sense.
Yeah, for people to not have healthcare.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people are now seeing, like, I could go on Instagram, I could go on ChatGPT, and I could say, how much money does it cost to end hunger in America or homelessness? And see it's $80 billion. And then look and wake up and see that we just gave $200 billion to another country fighting a war that we're not a part of. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well,
We a part of it now.
well, you know what I'm saying. But let's say I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I grew up homeless. Maybe my best friend or my cousin or my aunt, my uncle, whomever is homeless. People that I care about are now homeless. And I'm watching you literally allow them to hurt and give away the resources rather than help. And you're going to, I really firmly believe we're going to start seeing a lot of things along this extreme happen if we don't button up, because people are tired of it.
Mhm.
And they're aware now. Like, they're aware and they're fed up. And that's dangerous.
That's why the meeting had to still go on.
What?
'Cause they had the meeting after.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I don't. Okay, I don't have. I don't.
Everybody better stay inside.
That's true. I don't have all the details, so I don't even want to say that I know. It did still happen, but it did not end. So I don't know if once they found out what happened, they ended it or something. I think it maybe started at 8, ended around 9 something. There was something that made them continue as, business as usual.
What was the meeting about? Do you know?
It was an investor meeting.
Okay. So maybe he was part of that investors thing.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. So
Maybe they were just
think
like,
they knew
oh,
about it? You
shit,
think it was an
somebody got
inside job?
shot outside. Carry on.
I don't know.
So,
Right, but before they knew who
Right.
yeah.
We got 30 more minutes in the space. Come on.
Yeah.
I feel like so much is just unfolding in like a course of 30 days. Like, it's insane.
I'm actually sorry. I was just about to nerd out about something, so
Go
don't worry.
for it.
No.
She's low key happy.
Do
to.
it.
She's like,
Do it.
no,
Don't
no.
hold back for chat. Chat, you see this?
So, okay. In my opinion, I think obviously, okay, I'm totally, and mind you, I used to work in healthcare. I actually don't believe in the premise of like private ownership of like healthcare administration. I just don't. Because if you are a private owner of something, your purpose, you're in business. Your purpose is to make money. And if killing a few people makes you money, that is your end goal, and that is what you invested in, and that is what you want. But healthcare is I guess, somewhat benevolent. And if that is the case, I don't think you can involve profits with that. So and again, this is somebody, I worked in benefits, I worked in healthcare, and this is just my first year out of not being in that space. So I just don't believe that there should be like private ownerships or businesses whose intention is to make money. They should not be involved in healthcare. And to be honest, there are not a lot of people as far as like in government who are willing to stand up to that. Lena Khan, she would. She stood up to a lot of shit like as long as she's been. I think I think over the SEC or some shit. I can't really remember what she's over, but I'll look it up. But we know she's not going to get carried over into the new president's administration. I think there's a lot of things that are actually going to get overlooked, and no, it's not going to be addressed. Like I'm telling you, if you look at Lena Khan, she is a dog, like a dog. She don't care. Like she's going after you, and she's been very successful. But we're not really going to have an advocate like that, and so it kind of sucks. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm just wondering, like, if we don't have anybody to address these problems legally, people going to start doing.
I think. I mean, listen.
I think people have always done this though, and it was just in broad daylight, and he happened to be somebody important.
You think they were always killing heads of companies because they were fucking over people?
I think
a lot of death happens on a daily basis, and because he was a CEO of something big, they
I'm not talking about just death. I'm talking about targeting, like what Rico was saying, targeting certain people who are aligned in building companies and progressing companies that are just genuinely like fucking over American people.
I get that. I really think that happens, and we don't hear about it.
Like how so? Like I'm like, tell me what you think.
So I don't think that it has to do with just healthcare. Think about other things like, say, the head of the Food Administration. You know, like how do we know that the guy who is currently, or the woman is currently in office or wherever position that she's in, wasn't murdered and they just replaced her? I mean, how do we know that?
Like when they die,
that's what I'm saying. Like, how do we know these people? Because we don't ever ask, like, who's this, who's that, or very few of us ask.
Well, but
who these people are.
So if you're like head of the FDA, it's kind of like a big deal. Like head of the CDC, like that. I think if something happened to these people, it's just like you being like Justice Scalia and you die. Like it's gonna be televised. People are gonna know about it.
I do think. I mean, listen, I have a different way of thinking when it comes to situations like this. I don't believe that the way that we do things are ever going to be the best way to do them, personally, because legally it was all designed to protect, and those people typically know the law better than most, and they have affiliations that can help them leverage the law, right? In their favor to continue to persist in doing whatever it is that they're doing. For example, UnitedHealthcare, what's it called? Declining 30% of people. You know,
let me find a real number because it was
just say declining X amount of people, right? So I think that, in my personal opinion, and I always believe that this is going to sound crazy. Don't chop it. And often in times like this, and that is the only way to make people understand how serious you can be as the people, you know, simply because, like you said, if you're putting money over health, you got to understand, for them it's just money, but for the people, the 100, 300, 400 million people, that's their loved ones, their friends, their families. So throughout the time, it's just going to be built up, and it's only going to take certain person who had enough, you know, to lose that one extra person, or just to go through the situation. And we've seen movies like John Q, which is one of my favorite movies. I'd argue that it's a classic, where this man has his hands tied behind his back, and he has no way to literally help his son, and they have the resources to do it. And they're choosing not to, which makes it different. So all you need is somebody like that to literally go through that amount of stress and pressure, and they'll snap and they'll meet you the exact same way that you were trying to meet them or their friends or family. So I do think that situations like this, unfortunately, are called for an eye opener. I hate that it has to be somebody. I would rather it not be this way. And these big corporations, they don't really care. They're just gonna replace him and keep it moving. And that's what makes it even crazier, is like somebody just lost their life, protecting, your company, your corporation, and your profits. And yet you're gonna say next man up or woman up, right?
Well, I think that with the severity of the situation and there being a message that was being sent with this shooting, I don't think that it's going to be, well, yes, they are going to replace him, but I think that they are going to take it into consideration that people are coming for them.
Potentially. If it's only one off, the thing is, these people, they push the limits. If, God forbid, they replace this person and it happens to them, then that's when it's going to get to a point where it's like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's regroup, re-strategize.
I'm trying to remember, and one of y'all might remember the name.
I would say that if it didn't have the words on the bullet. Huh? Like if it was just like a one-off killing, then maybe I would think that, okay, easy replacement, they'll move on with their lives.
But it's not like, even without the name on the bullets, like it was a intentional like act. It wasn't like, oh, I'm tried to rob you. He didn't even make it try to look like something other than what it was.
I did it.
He
I
said,
stood
I
by
want
it.
you.
Yes. The person over here drinking their coffee, he didn't even look over there. Like, and mind you, when you are doing some shit, you don't want witnesses. So he don't even care about that. This is the problem.
We gotta look at it like people are really, and I hope, I would love for somebody of some type of higher power to watch this show and to hear from us that people are fed up at the bottom.
Yeah, but they know that already. They don't care.
I mean, they know, but of course they know it, right?
That's why they pit pores against pores.
Yep.
Because they do know, and that's how you keep people divided. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
But now what happens when the pores start clicking up? It's like,
well, it's happened before, but then they were fed more bullshit to make their division. And
so now you have these people who are in this position, which majority of the country is, right? Majority of the country are in a position where, they're floating around the poverty line. And yet I would argue the 30 whatever percent that is being declined.
It was 32. We 32? I looked it up.
Approximately 30% that's being declined is within that group.
It's wild.
3 out of every 10.
It's within that group. So, we got to really step back and say, well, how much are you profiting? Like, that's my question. Trillion. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. 580 billion.
Over $500 billion. So I'm not necessarily saying that it should totally be a government program, because I think government, okay, nonprofit perhaps. Yeah. And Rico, you just mentioned this about when it happens to one person and then it happens again to the second person, and you think it would make people behave differently. I'm actually inclined to think that won't change it. And I'm gonna give you 2 examples. One, I can't remember his last name, but they were at a baseball game. I think it was like a congressperson baseball game some years back. And somebody shot one of the congressmen that were there. His name was Scala. It was with an S, I think. Mm-hmm. SC, whatever. And they killed. Was it in the face? I thought it was in the head. Whatever. No. That's the other one. So that's my next example. But one of y'all can look it up if y'all want to. But anyway, it was a congressman, and it was like a maybe just like some little annual game they have where they play against, I don't know, the right and the left, whatever the fuck they be doing. And somebody came up there and shot one of the congressmen. Was there a change in gun laws? Nope. And then the senator from Arizona, Scalise, yes, I knew it was SC, Steve Scalise. And then I think Gabby Gifford, I think she was the senator in Arizona, and she was doing like a rally or something. I don't even think it was like on no election type stuff. I just think it was like, hey, my constituents, I'm out here, like, let's rah together. Yeah. And somebody came up there and shot her. I think they shot her in the head, right?
That's what I'm talking about at the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think it was Gabby Gifford, I think. And so you have, and Scalise wasn't like just no little bottom feeder person in Congress.
Yeah.
Like he was one of like a more tenured person, right? And if you're a senator, you're one of 100. Like you're a big deal anyway. So if you have these level of people being shot and being permanently like disfigured or hurt or harmed or whatever, and nothing changes, what does that tell you?
I would just say within due time, these positions are going to be something that people decline. It's going to be like, yo, this is too dangerous.
They probably have already,
Right.
though.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people probably have.
And that was what I said when we first started. I was like, you have some people who can withstand having that kind of job. And you have some people like, baby, that ain't for me. I ain't finna kill nobody grandmama.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, or risk me being killed for somebody's grandma.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his wife was probably like the whole time, like, this job isn't safe for us. Oh, so there
That's
you go.
probably why.
I mean, that's,
A lot of
it was
people,
definitely a factor.
a lot of these types of people in these positions, they also deal with more than just the actual death part. They definitely have been targeted before,
I wouldn't doubt it.
and I could understand a woman with kids saying, hey,
Get that from around
yeah,
this.
I don't want to be like somebody just followed us home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of this is public, like the people are public information. So it's not
Oh,
hard
they
to find.
took their so me and my friends been following this like on our chat. They nerds. But
They?
I'm not.
But me and my friends have been following it. They nerds.
But one of my friends, he's an investor in healthcare. Like that's what he does for work. And he said, so between maybe the morning time to maybe like 4 hours later, he said, y'all, they took their profiles down.
Yeah.
Because he actually pointed out the number of Black women in leadership. He was like, dang, I'm actually shocked how many there were. It probably wasn't even that much, to be honest. And yeah, right. Oh my God, it's a lot, but it's not. But excuse me. But he said, I think it was literally within 4 hours. He was like, y'all, they took it down. So now they, I don't know. I would hope that they've already known that there was a huge risk to these people. But
Okay.
in a sense, they're making it appear that they want to take these people's, these people out of danger.
If it was already up there and a CEO was shot, you think
He's not even the main CEO. Like the main.
that one's harder to get to. That's why.
At $200,000 a week, he probably lived a different lifestyle as well, though. He probably had his hands in a lot of other things that we would never know about. So it may not even be about him being a CEO. He probably most likely gambling. He's probably with people who had yachts and met people that didn't like him, like
Gossiping.
Yeah, about a whole bunch of different things that we'll never know about. But I think the fact that he was part of the healthcare system could just be like the cover up.
Or maybe that's what I said before. Is it an inside job?
What I'm saying, the cover up for if she's saying it was an investors meeting, where like, all right, well, we're going to continue this meeting, and they probably knew who was down there because if it's a hotel in Manhattan, you could have left. They would have evacuated the building. Like, yo, don't go outside. Or what just happened? Somebody didn't show up.
They didn't do that?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm saying clearly somebody didn't show up. The meeting must go on. They might have needed like one less person to vote on something, and now this person has all the power. And you watch Billions and stuff like that on HBO, or I watch it anyway, and that's what happens.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you know.
My bad.
that's what I'm saying. It could have definitely been. It could have like. And the crazy thing is, we're looking at it from. I just got pissed off at myself. Looking at it from like, oh, it's the Robin Hood.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
We're looking at it
not.
like real basic, like
It's-
we make 205 a week, like we know something.
Wait, so actually, my first thought was that it wasn't John Q.
Yeah, yep.
It wasn't. But then when I saw the video, the way it was done, I was like,
He's a professional. Remember, he probably
Wait, you saw a video?
he probably be home next month. Like,
no, he home right now
you see what I'm saying?
in Ecuador.
Like,
Like, right. I
passport, everything.
because honestly, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh wow, like some
I
maybe
like that game. I wanna
someone's
be there.
trying to silence him, or he knows something, or he set the shit up himself. No, for pity.
But let's just say it was a job that was orchestrated within somebody or a entity or an entity of that same status.
I'm trying to find information while you're talking.
Like somebody that's at the meeting.
Or yeah, somebody at the meeting or somebody who is not at the meeting, but the meeting could affect what they got.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Something there's some type of correlation within the person and whatever was going to happen or whatever maybe he stood for. Imagine he was just trying to make a change and say, yo, instead of 30, let's drop it to 10. You know what?
Can I say something? And I'm only saying that because I found a note about what his division did. It said he had been the CEO of the insurance division since 2021, and this is, mind you, of a 20-year career with UHC, overseeing a substantial profit. It said the division reported $281 billion in revenues last year. So I just want to say this. It said, the division employed roughly 140,000 people. So what I'm saying is that I don't care what $10 million sound like to y'all, but if my company is bringing in
More than 50%.
281 billion,
Out of the 530.
that's majority. That's the majority
Like
of
55%.
And I'm only making 10 million.
Yeah, I definitely need a nine.
Y'all
figure.
crazy. I don't care how normal 10 million sounds to anybody, but
80 to
like
100 is fair.
10 million, come on. The CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond was probably making more than that, or United Airlines. Like I'm just saying. Actually, probably United Airlines CEO probably does make more than that.
And they're getting over a half a trillion.
281 a billy, like not 281 million. Like
And 10 mil. Yeah. See, this
Yeah.
I'd have killed myself.
I wonder if
Honestly.
people are gonna know.
but that's what I was saying.
Now imagine if they bring in somebody. Maybe what happens if he wanted more money? What if the company got rid of him?
Sorry.
Because he's like
Trust me, I went through like
all the rabbit holes.
and right now I'm at John Q, because at first I was like, it was a setup, they want to silence him, or he knew too much about something that was finna happen.
He was about to say something.
And only because he been there 20 years.
Yeah.
You've been somewhere 20 years, and you've
know
also
too
been
much.
the CFO. You know everything. The COO don't know. In my opinion, the CFO knows the absolute most in any company. Yeah. And if you've been the CFO to the CEO, you know all about his at.
I mean, and I hate to bring this up, but if you look at it, even Drake right now is suing Universal, and he's saying that his own company was targeting him in a way, right? To, while they had their negotiation, they were trying to basically destroy his career. This is his claim. And we're seeing that potentially.
Wait, they were saying that he's saying his record company that the record company makes money off of is trying to destroy the career of the person on which they make money.
And spend the most money on, by the way.
Well, you have to understand, it's like if I'm getting 20, but I'm making you
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same thing that Diddy tried with Diageo. Look what happened. Like, yo, I made you X amount of money. I want some more. And they're like, what? Well, let me show you what you got. You got some allegations to answer. It's true. This is all alleged. This is all alleged. But I do think that these big corporations, they play differently with their employees. You know what I'm saying? So
I think there's anything wrong with shooting dice, but
when you go like this, the issue.
Oh,
so
Whoa.
I don't. What'd you say?
when you go like this,
Oh,
and then the shake
Nigga blows
is.
hard.
Keep that in though, please.
the no Diddy.
Don't
right?
cut that one.
Is that a no Diddy? Is it?
Keep that in. Like he's a wild
a no
boy.
Diddy.
'Cause I bet they not cutting it out on that.
That is another
other
Diddy.
show.
I apologize to all my fans if I let you down.
Nah, they know you.
What is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
What? What does that mean? What you trying to say? Yeah, yo, it's funny as hell when you
think it's
like
gone.
talk to the kids and you
It's
get
gone.
them. What? Yo, when I said the chat thing to them, these little niggas started bugging at practice. Like, you don't know what chat is. Oh, you're old. I'm like, nigga,
Like
I'm
your
the
mama
youngest on my
old.
panel.
No, just talk about their mama. Bitch, your mama old.
Your mother, never mind. I was about to say something crazy. They not single. They still throwing it.
That part.
Jesus Christ. Dang, I was saying something.
Cut
Cool.
it.
Two people.
Yo, Alan got so much shit. Yo, Alan
Ooh.
can make a what's it called? Complimation.
First of all,
Napkin, give me that.
you want that?
Oh my God.
I'm sitting on it.
Somebody gonna offer Alan
That's what
500
you
million
looking
for
for?
that shit. I'm like, yo, take it and just give me half, please.
Wait, what was I?
Fuck
I
my
was gonna
career.
say
Like we
something.
good, bro. They be paid.
Didn't you?
I'll be at home. I'll be in Ecuador.
That'll get you.
Right? Babe, I gotta drive
Oh, I
home.
like that juice.
Oh, it's guava.
Yo,
You finding peace.
That is important.
you can't find peace like that.
I'm not gonna lie, like
when my sisters see me doing that, and she be like, "Oh, did you know? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my nigga. Don't talk to me right now."
Sorry, my nigga.
Sorry,
my nigga.
With the eyes closed too. Sorry, my nigga. Yeah.
Like, really? That's what you saying to me right now? Like I'm in
Fucking with my
deep
peace.
fucking peace right now.
Hold
yeah.
on. Chakras.
Right.
No, it
You
didn't.
think?
That nigga been there for 2 decades. He been there for all of Amanda's life. Like, we gotta understand.
Whoa.
I mean, a job.
You just
is a
threw that
job.
shit. I was
For no
like,
reason.
I
There
ain't
was
even.
no reason for it. There was no reason.
Damn,
I'm good at
Rico.
these, huh?
Wait, wait. What was I saying before? Before we started cracking jokes. Damn, it was some about
That's what you've been waiting on.
damn man, the stress, the money.